Today I'm going to show you a new way to burn an extra 211 calories every single day, without changing your diet, without exercising, without taking any pills, and without skipping meals. It's backed by a new breakthrough study published by the US National Library of Medicine. And best of all, it's so easy a third grader could do it. You don't need any willpower. You don't need any self-discipline. And it only takes 10 seconds out of your day. While this is brand new to the health world, it's been used for hundreds of years by Amazon tribes, who are among the healthiest and most fit people in the world. Now, 211 calories a day might not seem like a lot to you, but if you do the math, that's an extra 1,477 calories a week, 6,418 calories a month, which adds up to 21.7 pounds or more of pure fat loss, without you having to do any real work. And those 22 pounds can quickly turn to 40, 60, even 100 pounds or more gone, without counting calories or points, without running on the treadmill until your knees ache, and without high-intensity workouts that put way too much pressure on your joints and bones. Even better, according to the latest research from the US National Library of Medicine, on top of burning a crazy amount of fat, this new secret helps prevent the buildup of body fat as well, which means not only will you lose a ton of weight, this time you won't gain it back. Just imagine waking up every morning with a little less fat than you had the night before. All of a sudden, you step on the scale, and you're down a quick 12 pounds, then 24 pounds, then 41 pounds. Even though you haven't really done anything, you feel amazing. You have more energy than a 5-year-old at Disneyland. People 10, 15, even 20 years younger start checking you out as you stand in line at the grocery store, and you just give a confident little smirk, because it feels good to be wanted sometimes. Free from diet prison, free from stressing over every tiny thing you put in your mouth, free from obsessing over your weight and how it never changes no matter what you try. This time, it's going to be different. And look, you don't have to believe me. As one of Canada's top health and nutrition coaches, I've seen everything when it comes to fad diets, quick fixes, and unkept promises. And I promise this is something completely different than anything you've ever seen before. The research behind this secret is incredible. I didn't believe it with my own eyes at first, yet it's been proven to work time and time again, with hundreds of women and men in their 40s, all the way up to their early 90s. Because when you start burning an extra 100, 200, even 300 calories a day in and day out, without exercising at all, your body has to burn more fat, whether you're 46 or 87. It's simple human biology. In fact, this new fat-burning secret works so fast, participants in a study published in the journal Diabetes, Metabolic Syndrome and Obesity lost more than 10% of their body weight on average, with almost all of it being pure, raw fat. So if you weigh 190 pounds, that's a quick 19 pounds completely gone, which not only naturally makes your belly flatter, it also does wonders to relieve the pressure from your knees, ankles, and joints. And what I've personally noticed from over 16 years in the trenches, working with women and men of all ages to lose the fat and get in the best shape of their lives, is that those first 20 pounds quickly lead to 40, 60, even 80 or more pounds. Because the momentum builds so fast that once your body starts burning fat, it doesn't want to stop. It's like a snowball at the top of a hill. Once it starts rolling down, it picks up momentum, and it keeps going and going, getting bigger and bigger. There's nothing you have to do. You just sit back and let it go. The same thing is true with weight loss. Once those first few pounds start coming off, and you stay consistent with this 10-second secret every day, the momentum builds, and all of a sudden, before you know it, you look like a completely different person than you were just a few weeks ago. You're thinner with a much flatter stomach. Clothes you haven't been able to fit in for years are suddenly big and baggy. Everyone wants to be around you because you're always in such a great mood. You're magnetic. You're a better parent and grandparent because you have the energy to spend time with your little ones and do fun things together, instead of just handing them an iPad while you sit on the couch and watch the news. But most important of all, you look in the mirror and you absolutely love the person looking back at you. Now, just hang tight with me for one more minute, because before I tell you exactly what this 10-second fat-burning secret is, how it works, and why it works so well for rapid belly fat loss, I have to let you know that what I'm about to share with you is extremely controversial. If you've noticed what's been happening in the world over the past 18 months, with lockdowns, mandates, and more rules and regulations than ever before, the higher-ups want to control everything, which is why I have no idea how much longer this video will be up. Because if they aren't getting a piece of the action or profiting in some way, then they'll work like crazy to shut down the little guy and other small businesses like me. So please, pay attention for the next 2 minutes before they rip this down, because I'm not holding anything back. And if you've been trying to lose the same 20 pounds for years, yet nothing ever works, no matter how hard you try or how much sacrifice, then that only means one thing. It's time to try something new. By the way, my name is Matt Sterling. I studied health and fitness at Fanshawe College in London, Ontario. I owned my own performance fitness and training studio for almost 10 years, helping the honest men and women in my tiny small town blast away their belly fat, drastically improve their confidence, and get in the best shape of their lives. Once word started to spread about my unusual yet highly effective fat-burning rituals, I started coaching and consulting with tens of thousands of women and men all over the world, using my strange fat-burning secrets that magically seem to work when nothing else does. And while I was offered dozens of paid TV appearances, lucrative book deals, and the opportunity to move to America, to get in the trenches, and help get rid of the staggering obesity epidemic head-on, I ultimately had to turn all of that down. Because the truth is, the most important thing to me is being a great husband and father. I'd rather stay home with my beautiful wife Nubia and our 3 amazing kids, instead of traveling the world and miss watching my kids grow up. But over the past 2 years, something crazy happened. Becoming a parent to our twin baby boy and girl, and with everything going on in the world, being stuck at home more than ever, the pounds started piling on. 5 pounds turned into 10 pounds. 10 pounds turned into 30 pounds. Before I knew it, I was heavier than I'd been in my entire life. I had no energy. I was barely dragging myself out of bed. I felt so embarrassed, humiliated, like a fraud in front of my own family. Yet I wasn't alone. The average person has gained over 22 pounds in the past year alone, and with everything that's been happening in the world, I realized something has to change. Because if someone like me, who's an expert in nutrition, weight loss, and how the human body works, can pack on the pounds in the blink of an eye, then it can happen to anyone. I just kept thinking, there has to be a way to lose weight, burn fat, and stay in great shape without exercising like crazy, going to a gym, eating more veggies, and cutting out all of the foods you love. So over the past 18 months, I became obsessed with the human body and discovering ways to make it burn more calories right at home without exercising at all. No one has been able to crack this code. And I know it sounds crazy and impossible. However, what I found, after stumbling upon some new groundbreaking research and months of trial and error, is a way to trick your body into burning up to an extra 211 calories a day or more, right in the privacy of your own home, without a single second of exercise. It doesn't matter how old you are, or how much weight you have to lose. It works like crazy, even if you have horrible genetics, a slow metabolism, or love to eat sweets and treats. It's all based on simple human physiology that's been overlooked for decades. Because here's the thing, most experts out there will tell you that fat loss is all about hormones, increasing your metabolism, and that's why they peddle their fad diets, like keto, low carb, high protein, vegetarian, vegan, or fasting. There's so much information out there. It takes a degree in nutrition just to understand what anyone is talking about. And I don't know about you, but I'm sure you've tried all of this before, like skipping meals, eating fewer carbs, eating out less and cooking more at home, eating fewer fried and fatty foods, and yet the scale never budges. Or maybe you lose a few pounds in the beginning, but then it stalls out because life gets in the way like it always does. And changing the eating habits you've had over the past 40 years isn't nearly as easy as all the doctors and experts make it seem. However, there is one thing that is always true, no matter what, and that is, if you simply burn more calories, you will burn more fat and lose more weight. It's human physiology. It works 100% of the time. The problem is, most people think that in order to burn more calories, you need to exercise more. But that's completely not true. So if you've been stuck and stalled for years, and nothing seems to work no matter what you try, being able to trick your body into burning more calories without doing any extra work might be the answer you've been looking for. And I know, this all sounds way too good to be true, but as a husband and a father, honesty and transparency is extremely important to me. That's why over the next 2 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how this works. So you can easily turn your body into a fat-burning machine without exercising at all. It's more powerful than anything I've ever seen before. The reason this works so well is because it triggers a reaction in the body called lipolysis. Lipolysis is simply the breakdown of stored fat into usable fat. When this happens, the fat on your body can be used for energy. Now, there are dozens of chemical processes that happen after this. However, you don't need to worry about those. All you need to focus on is flipping on your lipolysis switch so your body starts burning fat. And that's exactly what most people are missing. Let's say you're making a smoothie. You put all the ingredients in a blender, plenty of fresh fruits and veggies, maybe even some protein powder or Greek yogurt. And when you blend it all up, it turns into a powerful fat-burning drink. However, what happens if you forget to plug in the blender first? Nothing. All the food just sits there. And that's what's happening to most of us who are overweight. You can eat all the fruits and veggies you want. You can exercise until your feet hurt and your knees ache. But if you don't flip on your lipolysis switch first, then nothing happens. I'm sure you know people who exercise a lot or eat really healthy, and yet they still look the same no matter how hard they try. It's because they haven't flipped on their fat-burning switch, so nothing they do is ever going to work. Almost everything they eat gets stored as fat no matter how healthy it is. It's just like trying to make a smoothie without plugging in your blender first. You can keep adding more carrots and spinach in the blender, but it's not gonna do any good. So how do you know if your lipolysis switch is stuck and turned off? Well, if you have 10 or more pounds of stubborn belly fat, cellulite on your butt or thighs that's been there for over a month, fatigue, constantly feeling tired, cravings and hunger that never seem to go away, jiggly fat covering your hips, thighs, and butt, or if it's just really hard to lose more than 10 pounds. Listen, I don't want to sound harsh, but if you can grab a handful of fat anywhere on your body, then chances are that your lipolysis switch is stuck and turned off, because your body is obviously storing fat, instead of breaking it down and burning it off. Now just remember, it's not your fault. You're not a doctor or a nutritionist. You didn't go to school for years learning about the human body. So how in the world were you supposed to know about any of this? You weren't. So please stop beating yourself up and let yourself off the hook. Because the truth is, this is actually great news. Because all you have to do is flip on this tiny switch, and your body will start burning more fat every single day. Whether you're eating pizza and ice cream, burgers and french fries, or thick milkshakes and gooey fudge brownies. Once your body starts naturally burning more calories and more fat, you have no choice but to start losing weight. It really is that simple. Now, if you're a rich and famous celebrity, you can just pay a couple $1,000s and have injections that go right into your stomach to get the lipolysis process started. So you start melting away belly fat. You probably heard of this before. It's just like lipo. However, if you're not rich, or you don't want someone jabbing a long needle right into your stomach, there's a much easier and safer way to achieve this fat-burning process in your body. So you can start burning off an extra 10, 20, even 30 or more pounds in just a few seconds each morning. Now you're probably wondering, how do I turn on my fat-burning switch? Well, if you go searching online for answers, you're going to be disappointed. First of all, most people who talk about weight loss don't even know what lipolysis is. That's because they'd rather take a bunch of selfies showing their abs, instead of cracking open a book and learning about how the human body burns fat. That's why most people will simply tell you to eat fewer calories, exercise more, fill half your plate with veggies, stop eating dessert, eat fewer fatty foods. And yet, none of those things has anything to do with lipolysis and how your body burns fat. Now, you could do 30 minutes of high-intensity exercise. That'll get your body burning more calories, and you'll probably end up burning some fat. However, as you get older, high-intensity exercise can do way more harm than good. I've seen people blow out their knees, turn their ankles, throw out their backs, and collapse to the ground out of sheer exhaustion. So call me crazy, but to me, that's way too extreme. Plus, with high-intensity exercise, your body is mainly burning sugar for energy. And I don't know about you, but if I were putting in that much hard work, I'd want my body burning pure fat instead. You could also try taking freezing cold showers. Seriously, research shows that taking freezing cold showers can increase your metabolism because your body has to fight against the extreme cold. And as your body is heating itself back up, your metabolism increases, and you end up burning more calories. However, not only does that sound absolutely miserable, the amount of extra calories you burn isn't all that much. So you're not going to lose any serious weight that way. Now, as I was researching all these different ways to burn more calories at home, I stumbled across something crazy I had never heard before, and it happened right when I least expected it. You see, after spending months banging my head against the wall trying to help my stubborn weight loss members, who couldn't lose more than a few pounds, no matter how clean their diets were, or how much they exercised, I got a notification on my phone that literally changed my life. You can call me a science nerd if you want, but I have alerts set up on my phone, so I always know when new health studies are published. That's because I'm always looking for new, cutting-edge ways to help my clients get faster results when nothing else works. Well, one night after putting the twins down and crawling into bed next to my exhausted wife, I checked my phone and saw an alert about a new study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. If you're not a health nut like me, the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition is one of the most prestigious health research journals in the world, and so when they publish a new study, I always check it out right away. The title of this study was "Ingestion of Catechins Leads to a Reduction in Body Fat and Modified LDL." Now, while that sounds like a mouthful, let me break it down for you. Catechins are a type of phenolic compound that are part of the flavonoid family. Basically, they're a type of antioxidant that can have a huge impact on your health and your weight. In this 12-week double-blind study, the participants were split into two groups. The first group drank a bottle of oolong tea daily containing 690 milligrams of catechins, and the second group drank a bottle of oolong tea daily that contained only 22 milligrams of catechins. Same tea, just a different amount of catechins were added. Week after week, you could see the group that was consuming more catechins were starting to thin out. Their bellies were starting to get flatter, their thighs were shrinking, and their faces looked thinner. After 12 weeks, body weight, BMI, waist circumference, body fat mass, and subcutaneous fat was significantly lower in the group that was consuming more catechins, while everything else was the same. The group that was simply consuming more catechins on a daily basis was losing way more fat. They weren't exercising more. They didn't go on a crash diet. They weren't fasting or skipping meals. They were simply giving their bodies more of this powerful fat-burning antioxidant, and their body fat was melting away like never before. Now, here's where it gets even crazier. Because at this point, you're probably wondering, what foods and drinks have the highest number of catechins? Well, here's the thing. In order to burn a lot of fat, like the people in this study, you can't do it through just food and drinks alone. There's nothing out there that has a high enough level of catechins to make a real difference in your waistline. However, one beverage that contains catechins is green tea. That's why it's been considered a superfood for the past 20 years. However, I'm sure you've tried drinking green tea before and it doesn't really do anything. And I don't know about you, but I think it tastes awful. Heck, I forced myself to drink it for almost a year straight and never lost any weight. That's because you have to drink 10 to 20 cups per day, just to get the same level of catechins that the participants in the study were getting. Which is not completely unrealistic to drink that much tea every day. You'd also be going to the bathroom every 20 minutes. But here's what I discovered, which led to this huge breakthrough, where you can burn an extra 211 calories or more a day like clockwork. There's a plant grown in the fertile grounds of the Amazon jungle called guarana. As I mentioned before, green tea has been touted as a superfood weight loss drink for decades, mainly because of its high levels of catechins. Well, guess what? Guarana has 10 times more catechins than green tea. That's 10 times the fat burning, 10 times the weight loss, and 10 times the slimming power of one of the world's most powerful superfoods. So, while guarana is brand new to the health world, it's been used for hundreds of years by Amazon tribes for its health benefits. And according to the latest research published by the National Library of Medicine, guarana can help boost your fat-burning metabolism by 3 to 11% over 12 hours. And you do the math. Over a 24-hour period, you can burn an extra 100 to 211 calories or more without doing any exercise or going on another strict starvation diet. Even better, guarana is also linked to the increase in genes that slow down fat cell production, which means when it's flowing through your body, not only will you naturally burn more fat every single day, you'll also create fewer fat cells. So the chances of rebound weight gain go down significantly. Because as you probably know, there's nothing more frustrating than losing a bunch of weight only to gain it all back, along with an extra 5 to 10 pounds. However, when you can easily burn off belly fat day in and day out and keep it off for good without having to run 5 miles a day or eat boring dry salads for lunch all the time, that's when your life will truly change. Most people I know who lost 20, 40, even 60 or more pounds following some diet are basically stuck, because if they go off the diet, then all the weight starts piling back on. And if they stay on the diet, they're miserable, because there's no variety. They've cut out all their favorite foods. And while the weight loss is nice, it's almost impossible to follow a diet for the rest of your life. It's like you're handcuffed without any way out. That's why when you can program your body to burn off more calories every single day no matter what you eat, not only can you enjoy yourself, your life, and the food you eat, but you'll also have a thin and trim body to match. As I was reading through study after study, I was practically jumping out of my chair, and I started thinking, maybe we've finally cracked the code on weight loss. That could help end the obesity epidemic that's been plaguing the world for almost 50 years. However, I was still really skeptical, because it's one thing to read about all these amazing results in research studies, and it's another thing to see if it actually works. Plus, this was the first time I'd ever heard of guarana, and it's not like I live in the Amazon, where I can just walk out into my backyard and pick some guarana off a tree. It doesn't work that way. And the next time you're at the grocery store, you can't just throw some guarana in the cart along with your bread, milk, and eggs. So while I was filled with hope, I was still really skeptical if this actually worked for real people in the real world. Then fate fell into my hands, when my wife Nubia got a call from her grandmother. She's in her 90s and lives in the tiny village of Giron in Ecuador. After Nubia and her grandmother were done catching up, she handed me the phone so I could say hi. But what happened next completely shocked and surprised me, because when I started spilling the beans about guarana and how I thought it could change the world, she just said, "Oh yeah, we use that here all the time." Wait, what? I blurted out surprised. Apparently, in her tiny village, they use it in their tea every morning, because it's 10 times better than green tea, and it's been passed down from generation to generation, which makes complete sense, because when we went out to visit her a few years ago, one of the first things I noticed was that everyone in her village looked thin and healthy compared to here in Canada and America, where most people huff and puff after walking up a few flights of stairs. What was supposed to be a quick phone call to catch up turned into a 2-hour deep dive on how they stay so thin, healthy, and young year-round, even though none of them exercise, and their villages have big feasts almost every night. It turns out, and they really do, is take a big cup of hot water first thing in the morning and add in specific extracts and nutrients to give their body exactly what it needs to stay young, thin, and slim, while they spend their days enjoying time with their family and friends in their village. I basically grilled her to give me the recipe, and outside of guarana, the next ingredient they use is green coffee beans. Green coffee beans are packed with chlorogenic acid, which is a polyphenol antioxidant that researchers say promotes weight loss by reducing the absorption of fat and glucose in the gut. Basically, that means you can eat fat and sugar without it being stored in your belly as fat. You probably know at least one person who can eat whatever they want and never gain a pound, right? That's because their bodies aren't absorbing the fats and sugars, so they're burned off right away instead of piling up as belly fat. A recent study published in the journal Diabetes, Metabolic Syndrome and Obesity, which was conducted by Joe Vincent, PhD, and a professor of chemistry at the University of Scranton, found that participants who used green coffee beans lost about 18 pounds on average, which was more than 10% of their body weight, without changing their diet. And if you simply stick with it for a few extra weeks or months, those 18 pounds could easily turn into 38, 58, or even more. Their bodies were scorching calories around the clock, from the moment they woke up till the second their head hit the pillow, just like shoveling pounds of coal into a furnace. The next ingredient is glutamine, and this one is really important, because when you're overweight, your body needs even more glutamine than normal. If you don't have enough in your system at all times, your body will start breaking down your lean muscle tissue instead of burning fat. Now here's the thing. Your lean muscle tissue includes your bones, organs, ligaments, tendons, and your muscles. So not only do you keep gaining weight, but these vital parts of your body start to deteriorate, making you weaker. Which is why so many people have a simple fall as they get older and end up breaking a hip, twisting their knee, or hurting their back. Or maybe you accidentally trip and end up breaking your wrist or turning your ankle because your bones, joints, and ligaments are so much weaker than they used to be. Now, here's where things get really interesting. A study published in the prestigious European Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that overweight women who took glutamine on a daily basis experienced weight loss even when they didn't change their diets or exercise routine. They split 20 women into 2 groups, and at the end of 4 weeks, the group who consumed glutamine daily decreased their waist circumference, aka their waistline, and also experienced significantly more weight loss compared to the group who didn't get any glutamine. That's because it helps reduce your appetite, and also helps you burn more calories from fat. As a science junkie, going through all this research was fascinating, but what put it over the top was the last ingredient that I had never heard of before: coconut water powder. Now, don't get me wrong, I've heard of coconut water before, and it's been touted as one of the most popular health drinks in the world. After I leave the gym, I always see people drinking coconut water to rehydrate and re-energize. However, the problem is, it's packed with sugar. Well, it turns out, drinking pure coconut water has been shown to increase your metabolic rate. Your metabolic rate is simply the rate at which you burn calories. So it basically helps your body burn more calories at rest. But here's the secret. The real reason it works so well is because it keeps you super hydrated. And when you are hydrated, your body temperature increases, and you're less likely to store fat. On the flip side, when you're dehydrated, which most people are, because it's hard to drink 8 to 12 big glasses of water every single day, your body temperature drops. So you burn fewer calories and fat for energy, and you gain weight. That's the secret most people don't know about. Hydration plays a huge role in weight loss, because if you're constantly dehydrated, there's no way your body is going to start burning off fat. It's in pure survival mode, and it'll hang on to every last pound for dear life. Now, as I mentioned, most coconut water is packed with sugar, which is horrible for your waistline. However, when you grind down the coconut, the sugar is removed in the filtering process, and you're left with pure, fat-burning coconut powder that keeps you hydrated. So your body starts burning up more fat day in and day out. Once I started putting all these puzzle pieces together, it was crystal clear how these people in Giron were burning tons of fat, staying thin year-round, looking 10, 20, even 30 years younger than their age, with boundless energy that lasts all day long. They were simply getting all these rare nutrients and extracts that barely anyone in America even knows about. When I got off the phone with Nubia's grandma, I just sat there with my jaw on the ground, stunned. I was so excited and so hopeful, but part of me also thought it was too good to be true. I figured if this was all so magical, then someone would have figured it out by now, right? But if you think about it, most doctors, nutritionists, and dietitians are still taught that low-fat diets are best, even though the science and research has proven the exact opposite. And don't even get me started on counting calories and exercising more. Our schools, universities, and graduate programs are stuck in the Stone Age when it comes to nutrition and fat loss, which is why almost 70% of American adults are clinically overweight or obese. A few weeks later, after putting the twins down for a nap, I got a package in the mail. When I opened it, there were a bunch of little containers, along with a note. It was from Nubia's grandma. I swear by this recipe with my life, Matthew, but you can help more people with it than I can here in Giron. I trust you. After reading over her short list of instructions, I took a teaspoon of the powder, mixed it in a hot cup of water, and slowly started sipping on it. Expecting it to taste like dirt, I was actually surprised because it tasted better than any cup of tea I'd ever had. And with that, I went on with my day. Over the next 8 hours, I could definitely feel my energy levels were higher than usual, which makes sense, because if you're burning more calories and fat, you'll have more energy, which is exactly what I needed, with 3 babies at home and an exhausted wife who desperately needed a break. I felt like Superman cleaning up spills, changing diaper after diaper, pushing their strollers around the block, and I even surprised Nubia by having a hot dinner ready on the table. It had been years since I cooked anything. I felt like I was on top of the world. The next morning I stepped on the scale and was surprised to see that I was down 2.2 pounds. Now, that might not sound like much to you, but if you keep losing a pound or 2 every day, that's going to add up fast. It's how people lose 20 to 40 pounds in a month. They don't do anything crazy. It's just being consistent with a few small things that deliver huge results. After just a few weeks, I was already down 27.4 pounds. My belly started flattening out. I just felt lighter when I was walking around. My mental clarity was way more sharp and focused. I put on my favorite pair of jeans and there was suddenly a little extra room in the waist. And my thighs weren't rubbing together when I walked. But as happy as I was, I still had to see if this worked for people who were in worse shape than I was. So I went through all my past clients, friends and family, neighbors and neighborhood friends, anyone who was looking to lose at least 15 pounds, and was too busy to commit to a strict workout and diet plan. I had to see with my own eyes if all these unique ingredients really burned off a couple hundred extra calories a day and melted away belly fat, or if it was too good to be true. After the first 4 days, the results made my jaw drop. People were losing anywhere from 3 to 11 pounds. Within weeks, the results were incredible. People were losing more weight than they had in the past 10 years combined. 22 pounds here, 56 pounds here, along with smaller waistlines, way more energy, and some even cut their body fat percentage in half. Overall, the group lost a combined 4,732 pounds without exercising at all. No cardio, no intervals, no high-intensity exercise, and the crazy part is, most of the women lost more weight than the men. Their dangerous belly fat was disappearing. The cellulite on their butt and thighs smoothed out and you couldn't even tell it was there in the first place. Their mental clarity and focus was at an all-time high, and it was like their metabolisms were ravenously eating through the fat. Women and men in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and even their mid-80s finally had their sex drive back for the first time in years, which isn't surprising at all, because when you look and feel amazing, that sexual energy that was there 20 years ago comes roaring right back. All the messages, phone calls, and emails I received started to get overwhelming. I was hoping for the best, but never expected anything like this. And that's when I knew, without a single doubt, that this super simple Amazonian ritual could help even the most overweight and stubborn women and men get rid of their belly fat, dramatically lose weight, skyrocket their energy, and restore their youthful sex drive and appearance, at any age and any physical condition. And from right then and there, I made it my life's mission to get the world's fastest fat-burning formula into the hands of as many people as possible, so you can transform your body, shrink your waistline, and lose all the extra fat that's been stuck to your body and holding you back for far too long. That's why I'd like to introduce you to Burn Boost. It's the world's first and only rapid calorie burning formula that effortlessly turns on your fat-burning lipolysis switch. So you burn more calories every day without exercise. So you burn more belly fat without strict dieting and skipping meals. And most important of all, so you can finally relax, stop worrying about your weight and your appearance, and let this rare and unique Amazonian formula do all the hard work for you. Burn Boost is the only formula in the world that contains these 20 exotic fat-burning nutrients in the exact right doses, scientifically proven to increase daily calorie burn in women and men. Let me be clear, there has never been anything like Burn Boost in the history of health and weight loss. As myself and hundreds of women and men all over the world can verify, burning fat and losing weight has never been easier or more automatic. Burn Boost is manufactured right here in the United States. It's 100% all-natural, vegetarian, GMO-free, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free, and completely safe with zero side effects. It's just 100% pure plant extracts in the exact right doses to get your body burning way more calories and fat than it is now in just 10 seconds a day. The truth is, completely changing your diet or starting a new, intense exercise program is a recipe for disaster, because that's what we've been trying to do for years. Yet barely anyone sticks with it long enough to see results. And those who do lose a few pounds end up putting the weight right back on when they start eating carbs and other real food again. It's just too hard and unrealistic. The human body wasn't meant to starve and run 5 miles a day, which is why none of this is your fault. Maybe you have horrible genetics, or a really slow metabolism, and your body simply doesn't burn as many calories as it needs to in order to get rid of the extra fat. That's perfectly fine. Please stop beating yourself up. It's time to finally let yourself off the hook. Because as someone with horrible genetics and a history of health problems that's been passed along in my family for generations, you now have the answer. A 100% all-natural way to get your body torching through calories and fat, slim down and thin out, with way more energy, no matter how old you are or how much weight you have to lose. This has been proven to work when nothing else does. Now, let me ask you an honest question. What are you going to see in the mirror 3 weeks from now? Are you going to see someone who looks younger, thinner, with more confidence and youthful enthusiasm because you took a chance and invested in yourself, putting your needs first for a change? Or are you going to convince yourself that the time isn't right, that you'll get started with your diet on Monday, and hope and pray that this time things work out better than they have in the past? Look, the one thing we can never get back is time. And that's even more important when it comes to our health. We're all losing precious time every single day. So whatever life has been like for you, it doesn't need to be that way forever. You can make a change. If you're frustrated, stuck, stalled, plateaued, or maybe you're just tired of struggling, then it's time for you to get back on track. And I want to do something to personally help you. That's why I set aside 6 jars of Burn Boost at an extreme discount, specifically for you. because if you've stuck with me for this long, then I know you're serious. You see, we went through our initial test batch of Burn Boost in less than 72 hours, which isn't a huge surprise, because when something actually works, word spreads like wildfire. Suddenly, people were ordering 6 jars at a time. That way they can start burning up to 211 extra calories or more day in and day out. For the next 6 months straight, they were consistently losing weight week after week, which is so much better than losing a quick 10 pounds, hitting a stall, then putting it all right back on. And when it only takes 10 seconds, it's super easy to stick with long term. So the fat keeps melting off, your belly starts to shrink, and you don't have to rely on willpower or self-discipline, which never works. I made it as automatic as possible, so you don't even have to change your diet if you don't want to. However, since the results happen so quickly and people are ordering 6 to 10 jars at a time, we've been constantly running out of stock. Add in all the supply chain and shipping issues because of the pandemic, and it's getting worse by the day. Plus, I'm just a health coach from Canada, not some billionaire business owner. So keeping Burn Boost in stock consistently has been a huge challenge for me. And when we run out of inventory, we have to wait at least 3 to 4 months on average before we're back in stock, because I'm not going to cut corners. I guarantee that each jar of Burn Boost has the freshest, most pure ingredients, with no fillers, no sugars, no artificial sweeteners or chemicals, and no additives. Each jar of Burn Boost is manufactured in a CGMP facility approved by the FDA, clinically validated by research-based doses, third-party tested for quality assurance, manufactured using a unique clean filtering process to preserve the nutrients in each dose so they never become contaminated, made with 100% pure plant extracts. This process is critical for guaranteeing that every jar contains only the best pure plant extracts in the world today, and that takes time and resources. Because I'm not willing to cut corners or sacrifice quality, which means we're only able to produce a certain number of jars at a time. And with so much research proving that the longer you use these calorie-burning nutrients, the more weight you lose, the flatter your belly is, and the thinner you become, it's easy to see why so many women and men are ordering 6 jars at a time, so they can remain stocked up, while torching fat and calories for the next 6 months straight. All you have to do is mix a spoonful in your water, coffee, or tea. I prefer to do it first thing in the morning, because then you won't forget when your day gets busy and hectic. Plus, your body starts burning fat and calories for the rest of the day. However, if you want even faster results, or if you have 30 or more pounds to lose, I'd have another scoop before lunch and again after dinner. That way it keeps your metabolism sky high. Your body is burning even more calories from fat, and your belly will flatten out even faster. It's like putting money into your grandkid's savings account. $1 a day is a great start, and that will definitely add up over time. But adding $3 a day triples your results, and adding $5 a day would quadruple it, which is why so many people go through their first jar a lot faster than they expect. And if we're out of stock when you come back, which happens every few weeks or so, then you have to wait 3 to 4 months, which instantly kills your momentum and your results. Now, no matter how many jars you choose, your shipment will be on its way as soon as you place your order. Depending on where you live, it usually takes between 3 to 7 business days to arrive. When it does, go ahead and open your first jar, and mix a spoonful in your water, coffee, or tea. Then make sure to do it again before lunch and after dinner. Most people can notice a difference within the first 24 hours. You'll notice you have a little more energy than normal, your hunger and cravings will start to fade away, and you won't be hungry all the time. Within the first few weeks, you'll start noticing a difference in the mirror. You'll start looking thinner, more vibrant. People will notice that there's something different about you. They'll probably assume you're exercising more and eating healthier, because you have that glow to you that was never there before. After a month, it'll be harder to recognize you. People in your life who haven't seen you in a while could walk right past you and not even recognize you right away. They won't believe you're the same person. And after a few months, you'll start looking like a completely different person. You'll notice strangers checking you out at the grocery store, or when you're in line at the bank. You'll have this natural confidence that's extremely attractive. Your lover will be all over you like a dog in heat, because you look like someone half your age. The more you use it, the faster it works, and the more effective it will be. So if you use it once and forget about it, then not much is going to happen. But if you take 10 seconds out of your day to mix it in your water every morning, the results are remarkable. That's why I always recommend ordering 6 jars at a time, unless you only have a few pounds to lose. That way, you save the most while burning fat for the next 6 months straight. Now, when you order 1 jar of Burn Boost, it's just $49, which is instantly a $48 savings. However, in order to get you the best and fastest results possible, I set up a one-time only 6-jar bundle, where you'll pay just $34 per jar, which is a $63 savings per jar, and it saves you $378 overall. And I set up a special 3-jar bundle as well. You won't save nearly as much as the 6-jar bundle, but it's still a great deal. And look, because I'm so confident that you'll experience more weight loss than you ever have in your life, I'm not just promising your results, I'm completely guaranteeing them. If for whatever reason you don't get the exact results you want in the first 60 days, just let me and my team know, and we'll give you a full 100% refund with no questions asked. That way you can try it out on me, and if it doesn't work for you, then you pay nothing. Just let me know in the next 60 days and I'll refund your purchase right away. And don't worry, this is not a subscription or membership program, so you will never be billed again unless you place another order. I hate those automatic shipping programs as much as you do. However, our current inventory is already low, and I can't guarantee these discounted bundles will still be available past today. So simply choose the 6-jar bundle below or whichever one works best for you. From there, you'll be taken to our 100% secure and encrypted order form. Simply fill in your information, and your order will be on its way to your home. You'll also receive an email confirmation from my team and I, along with information on how to get in touch with our customer support team, just in case you have any questions or want to track your order. Trust me, I'm here to help you, which is why I make it so easy for you to get a hold of myself and my team. Because you're not doing this alone, I'm here to help you every step of the way. That's why I'm also including the following 3 bonuses absolutely free when you place your first order of Burn Boost here today. Free bonus number 1. 14-day rapid fat loss blueprint. Look, you don't need to change your diet in order for this to work. However, as a nutrition and health coach, I always recommend eating healthier because it can have such a dramatic impact on your overall health as you get older. Plus, it can easily double or even triple your results by simply making a few tiny tweaks to your diet while still eating all the foods you love. In our test groups, the average person lost an extra 27.3 pounds, with the record being an extra 44.2 pounds. Free bonus number 2. 2-day belly fat blaster. When it comes to losing weight and burning belly fat, I'm all about fast results. Who wants to suffer through a miserable diet for weeks just to lose a few measly pounds? That's why I decided to include my world-famous 2-day belly fat blaster. It's designed specifically to get those first 5 to 10 pounds of belly fat burned off as fast as humanly possible. And don't worry, there's no counting calories, no starving yourself, and no skipping meals. Free bonus number 3. Fat Burning Desserts Cookbook. I don't know about you, but I absolutely love dessert. Seriously, my wife and I eat it almost every single night, and we're in better shape now than we were in our early 20s. That's because I spent years figuring out the absolute best fat-burning dessert recipes that taste amazing and delicious, so you look forward to them every single night guilt-free. I'm talking about lemon strawberry cheesecake, brownies, cookies, cheesecake bars, cinnamon rolls, chocolate donuts, strawberry mini cakes, tiramisu, sticky buns, and rich chocolate cake, just to name a few. I'm no chef, and I can easily whip up these desserts in just a few minutes. So I made sure to make the recipes so simple that anyone can use them. And now you can have dessert every single night if you want, while burning off all your belly fat at the same time. And you get all 3 of these fat-burning bonuses: the 14-day Rapid Fat Loss Blueprint, the 2-day Belly Fat Blaster, and the Fat Burning Desserts Cookbook, absolutely free when you place your first order for Burn Boost here today. Simply choose the 6-jar bundle below or whichever option works best for you, and all 3 bonuses will be emailed to you free of charge, so you can start using them right now. Unfortunately, our time here today is almost over, and the truth is, you really only have 2 options going forward that lead to 2 very different results. Option number 1. You can take everything you learned here today and try to apply it yourself. You can search high and low for natural sources of guarana, green coffee bean, glutamine, and all the other fat-burning nutrients I shared, and try to mix them together in the exact right doses so your body starts burning more fat and calories day in and day out. You can spend hours searching for these ingredients online, driving to all the expensive health food stores in your area. You can even start cleaning up your diet and start exercising more. But let's be honest, that's going to take a lot of work, and it's also going to be really expensive. Plus, if you were going to take the initiative and do all of this on your own, wouldn't you have done it already? Wouldn't you have figured all of this out a long time ago? The truth is, life will probably get in the way like it always does, and you'll keep putting it off until you gain even more weight, more belly fat, and at that point, it might be too late. I don't want you to look in the mirror 3 months from now, 20 pounds heavier, feeling even worse than you do now. Option number 2 is you can take the easy way out. Take advantage of all the hard work I've already done and see how powerful these fat-burning nutrients are in blasting away belly fat no matter how old you are. All you need is a few seconds in the morning to mix them in with your water, coffee, or tea, and then move on with your day. That's it. Your body will start burning more calories every single day. You'll start losing weight and burning belly fat like you never have before. Plus, you get all 3 bonuses absolutely free. And you're covered by our 60-day 100% money-back guarantee, so you can try it for the next 2 months, and if you're not completely satisfied with your results, then you pay nothing. 30 days from now, you could be much thinner, with a smaller waistline, a flatter, sexier belly, and more energy than you had in your 20s. However, you have to take the first step. You have nothing to lose. Simply choose the 6-jar bundle below or whichever one works best for you, and I'll be on the inside waiting to help you. You're not doing this alone. And I can't wait to see the amazing jaw-dropping results you experience over the next few weeks. I put my heart and soul into this, and I couldn't be more excited for you to get started. Hey, are you still here? It's Matt again. I know we covered a lot today and you may still have some questions. Here are the most common questions about Burn Boost. What's Burn Boost again? Burn Boost is a breakthrough fat-burning formula that focuses on the power of guarana, green coffee bean, glutamine, and a handful of other nutrients to break down your stored body fat and turn it into usable fat, which is quickly burned off your belly. It speeds up weight loss, fat loss, and increases your energy while curbing cravings and hunger. How fast will I see results? Everyone is different, so it's hard to say without knowing more about you. However, after testing this on more than 1,250 women and men, most of them saw noticeable results within the first week. Whether that's losing those first 10 pounds, going down a few jean sizes, noticing your thighs thinning out, or losing inches around your waistline. How do I get one of those discounted bundles? Simply choose the discounted 6-jar bundle below, or whichever option works best for you. Then enter in your information into our 100% secure order form page. You'll receive a confirmation email from my team, along with instant access to all 3 fat-burning bonuses, while your shipment of Burn Boost is on the way. Will Burn Boost work for someone my age? Burn Boost has worked for women and men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, all the way up to people in their late 80s. That's because no matter your age, your body craves these long-lost nutrients that help burn off dangerous belly fat. You can't get these nutrients from any fruit or vegetable, and the older you are, the faster Burn Boost seems to work. How does your money-back guarantee work? If for whatever reason you're unsatisfied with Burn Boost and all the free bonuses, simply contact our customer service team and we'll give you a full and prompt refund with no questions asked once you've returned the bottles. Our customer service team will direct you on how to do so to make it easy for you. It's our way of saying thank you for giving Burn Boost an honest try. How long will the discounted jars be available? I only set aside a handful of jars for this limited time discount, because with shipping and production costs on the rise, I can't afford to do it forever. If you see the discounted bundles below, that means they're still available. So I'd hurry and place your order now, because if you close out of this video and try to come back later, I can't promise that they'll still be here. And you'll likely have to pay the retail price of $97 per jar. Choose whatever bundle option works best for you below. And I can't wait to hear about your amazing results. Take care.